Hey coders, how are you all doing today? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Let's continue with creating more projects on Scratch. So in this project, you will create a game in which you need to guide cats to safety and not let any of them fall through the gaps. What you will learn, or what you will make, you'll click and drag with the mouse to draw a line with the pencil. Your goal is to stop the cats from falling into holes by creating a safe path to the exit. What you will learn: how to use a forever loop to constantly generate moving cats, how to use and repeat until loops to ensure your cats follow a line. So let's show you the finished project. Alright, so here is how your game would be when we're done with the project. So you'll have your pencil here, and all you need to do is click the green flag and then draw a line so that the cats don't fall into the holes. And once they go through the door and it counts as a point. You could even do, you can even do this way. Draw a curved line. So they'll be following the line and then cross paths. But if you don't draw a line, let's say you draw like this, they will fall into the pit. So your aim is to draw a bridge basically. All right, so let's get into this game. Okay, so we have now opened our cat resources starter world. As you guys can see, we have sprite 1, which will be our cat, the pen, and the door. So what we're going to do is step 1, which is to draw lines. So we're going to click on the sprite called pen and add code to set the pen color to the same blue as the obstacles on the stage. So we'll go to events, drag in when green flag clicked, go to pen, drag out set pen color to, and change it to this blue of the platform. Then we're going to drag out clear and then set pen size to 5. So to select a color, you'll click on the color square in the set pen color to, this block right here, to make your mouse cursor turn into a pipette, which is this, and then click on the correct color on the stage, which is the platform right here. So now we're going to add some more code to make the sprite follow the mouse pointer. Test your program to check that the code works. So now we're going to add a forever loop as well. So we go to control, drag out a forever loop, go to mouse pointer, and drag out go to mouse pointer. Go to mouse pointer. So now we're going to test it and just see if it actually follows our mouse. Yes, it does. And if we draw, it will set the pen size to 5. Okay. So now we're going to add some code to tell the sprite to draw a line on the stage if the mouse button is pressed down. So if the mouse button is pressed down, put the pen down and have the else if else statement, and then lift the pen up. So this will be the codes that we'll need. We will need the if else then statement, then we will need the pen down and the pen up, and then we're going to go to sensing and we'll need the mouse down. Mouse down. Let's just, oh, here we go. Mouse down. So what we're going to do is we're going to first drag our if else statement inside the forever loop. And then we're going to drag our mouse down into the if statement. And in the first block, we'll have pen down. And in the second block, pen up. So now we're going to test the code. You should be able to click and drag with the mouse to draw a blue line on stage. So green flag, as you can see right there, there's a blue dot. And you should be able to draw a line or whatever. Okay. You probably see that a dot always appears in the top right hand side of the stage right here. It's circled in the image or right here on our video. This is because when you click the green flag to start the game, you already had your mouse pressed down, so the pen immediately starts to draw. To stop this from happening, add a pen up block at the start of the script and a wait 1 second block above the forever loop. So the pen up should be in the beginning of your code, and before the forever loop we should have the wait block, which is wait 1 second. Alright, the next thing we need to do is clone cat. So you want a never-ending stream of cats that the player has to guide along the path to the exit. So we're going to click on our cat and we're going to add some code to hide the sprite and also to clone it every 3 seconds. So we're going to go to events, we're going to have our when green flag clicked, go to looks, have our hide block, go to control, have our forever loop, and inside our forever loop we have our create clone of myself block and the wait block for 3 seconds. If you run the program now, nothing happens on the stage. To check that a new sprite clone is created every 3 seconds, make each clone appear and fall out of the sky. So in order to do that, let's click the red. We're going to add code to tell the sprite that when it starts as a clone, it should show itself and fall until it touches the blue floor that is drawn on the stage. So we're going to need the repeat until block. Then we're going to need the show block. We're going to need the touching color block. We're going to need the change Y by block. And then we're also going to need the when I start as a clone block. So now we're going to rearrange our blocks. So the first thing we're going to have is when I start as a clone, it should show. Then we're going to click and drag in our repeat until block, touching color, and make sure you click on the color block palette here and make sure it is this blue, not any other color. And then we're going to drag in our change Y and change the number to -2. So when you click the green flag, you should see a new cat fall from the top of the stage every 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Every cat should land in a big pile of overlapping cats on the blue floor at the bottom. Okay. So now we're going to have the next step, which is making the cat move. So once a cat touches the floor, it should step slowly to the right. So we're going to add some code to the when I start as a clone section to make the cat sprite move 10 steps and switch between the sprite's 2 costumes every 0.1 seconds to make the cat look like it's walking. So what we're going to do now is we have when I start as a clone, we're going to need our forever loop. It's going to cover that. Then we're going to have motion, which is the move block. inside the forever loop. And then right underneath the repeat until, we're going to go to looks and drag out next costume. Then we're going to go to control, drag out the wait block and make it 0.1 seconds. So now press the green flag and check that the cats now move along the blue platform at the bottom. Yes, perfect. So now if we draw a bridge across the gap so that the cats can get all the way to the right side of the stage, you can see that they end up getting stuck walking into the right wall. All right, so I draw the bridge. And as you can see, they get stuck by the right wall. So now remove the forever loop and instead add a different loop to make the cats only walk until they touch or reach the edge. When a cat reaches the edge of the stage, it should disappear. So instead of the forever loop, we're going to have our repeat until. Repeat until. Then we go to sensing and drag out touching mouse pointer, and we say it should be touching the edge, and then it should delete itself, delete this clone. So now we press the green flag and check that the cats disappear when they reach the edge of the stage. So let's see. Yes, they disappear. Perfect. You may notice that if the cats fall into the hole, they don't disappear, but instead get stuck at the bottom. This is because they keep trying to fall downwards. This is the part of the code that tells the cat to keep falling until it touches the blue. However, in the hole, the cat can never reach blue, so it is stuck forever. So we're going to add more blocks to this loop so that it repeats until the cat sprite is touching blue or touching the edge. This way, the sprite stops trying to fall if it reaches the edge of the stage. So where we have our repeat touching color, we're going to go to operators and have the OR block, and in the first block it is touching color, and in the second block it is touching edge. So now you might notice that if you draw a long bridge between the two platforms or a line that slopes upwards, the cats end up walking through the platform rather than on top of it. So if you click here and maybe draw a line over there, there we go. They walk through the platform. So in the code for the cat sprite, add another loop before the next costume block. This time, the loop should tell the cat to move upwards by 2 until it is not touching the blue. So, in order to do this, we're going to have another repeat loop. Repeat until. Just got to make sure this stays here. Then we go to motion and drag out change Y. Make sure this is a 2. And then go to operators and get the not block, not touching color blue platform. Alright, so now we're going to click the green flag and try drawing a line that slopes upwards. Check that your cat follows this line. So we're going to draw an upward curve and see if it follows the line. Yes, it does. Perfect. The next step we need to do is have our cats get to safety. Alright, so now the object of the game is to guide the cats to safety by creating a path so they can reach the door. The door right here. So now we're going to create a score variable to keep track of how many cats reach the door. So we go to data, create a variable, and call it score. We can even drag our score button right here, and we can click to say hide, or we can show it right on the screen. We can do a normal readout, large readout with just the number, which is perfect, and we can also do a slider. What we're going to do is we're going to use the large readout. Okay, just put it perfect. There we go. Now we're going to add code to the cat sprite to add 1 to the score each time a cat reaches the door. Also set score to 0 when the green flag is clicked at the start of the game. So in order to do that is we're going to have an if statement. So right underneath the wait block, we're going to go to control and drag out the if statement. If sensing touching door, then it should change score by 1. Change score by 1. And obviously, when the green flag is clicked, set score to 0. Now we're going to add some more code so that when a cat sprite reaches the door, the cat makes a meow sound and then disappear. So once it reaches the door, we go to sound, drag out play sound, and we have the delete this clone. Okay. Now, at the moment, your game is very easy. Can you think of ideas to make your game harder? Add more backgrounds with different platform designs. Move the location of the door depending on which background is displayed. Add more sprites as moving obstacles. Perhaps you could have roaming dogs or rotating spikes that cats need to avoid. Only allow the player to use a limited amount of ink to draw lines in the game. You can keep track of how much ink is used by creating a timer variable that records how long the mouse is held. And you can create a sprite to show the player how much ink is left. So now we have come to the end of our game. So if you click the view full screen, and what you want to do is make the game more interesting. Add obstacles like dogs or the ink as I've mentioned. All right, so thanks for joining us today. Please visit us at www.pingacademy.co.za where we will create more games like these ones. Thank you.